Hello, I'm Sam, and today we have a Targa 4S Heritage Edition Porsche 911 992. Definitely said that the wrong way around, but I've got the car for 25 minutes. It's the first time I've driven a 992. Let's go for a little drive and I'll give you my thoughts, but first let's do a little walk around. Now, the Targa. Whoa. I think this is probably, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily have the stickers personally, but it's a very good looking car. I really like the Targa. And the Heritage Edition has all of these nice touches. So I think it was the introduction of this colour leather with this sort of fabric here. And it's all just done really nicely. I do love a 911, the super practical, don't know about super practical, but useful little seats there. A couple of badges. I'm not too into the badges personally, but a very nice place to be. I would show you the engine, but it's sort of hidden under there. Let's just quickly pop the front. A bit of a time schedule today. Quite a big front boot there. Put all your stuff in. A couple of bags for a weekend, and then you could chuck some stuff behind the seats, but let's go for a drive. The updated interior. One of the changes I'm not so keen on is the cup holders being here rather than here, but everyone's moaned about that before. Other than that, got these displays, a nice mix of sort of analog and digital displays. Feels nice, feels much more modern than my 997, but let's go for a drive. First things you do, I guess, have a little look around the cabin, see. I'm familiar with most of this stuff. The steering wheel is so sort of simple. I really like it, and this leather is very, very nice. Let's not run this cyclist over. We've got a start-stop going. Put it into manual mode. I've got the roof up, the roof open, and I very much feel like I'm outside. It's not that isolated. You probably can't hear me that well from the environment outside. I believe on previous generations, 991, the convertible was actually quieter with the roof down than the Targa, but I'm not 100% sure on this generation. I've not driven the convertible. Things I'm picking up, I'll probably stop and shut the roof at some point so you can hear me a little bit better, but things I'm picking up, I mean, immediately I feel like I'm in a 911. Puts a bit of a smile on your face. I very much hear that characteristic Porsche noise, but it is slightly muffled, whether that's the OPF filters or the turbocharging. It's not. This car, I believe, has the sports exhaust. It's amazing nowadays. So this is a 4S, and previously the 991s, they didn't feel that quick, especially 997 Carreras and stuff. It didn't feel like this. This car's got 450 horsepower. That is the same amount of horsepower as my 997 GT3 RS, but it's all down low. It's all just a wave of torque with the turbo whoosh and whatnot. I'm on quite a smooth road right now, but I can feel stuff through the steering wheel now. That previously, I guess it's various vibrations coming through the system and whatnot. Electric systems felt very numb. You definitely have a little bit more of a disconnect versus a hydraulic system, but I think we can sort of forget about that as much now. You're not getting hydraulic systems on many cars these days. We've got a lot more space in here and a lot more space for what seems like buttons, but this car has no buttons. I wonder if other cars have buttons. I like it. A lot of stuff is touchscreen. We've got these great displays. You can get the car in a manual, but I do even miss the gear stick knocker so that you could knock it forward and backwards. I know in the GT3 they've changed that to make it a bit more engaging. It's a nice thing, isn't it? I wonder if I can put the roof down with my GoPro attached. I'm gonna give it a go. Okay, I believe this is a factor of the Targa. You cannot put the roof up when you're moving. So I'll need to stop to put the roof up. That's possibly a little positive towards getting the convertible versus the Targa. Oh, it feels very comfy though, and I feel very much at home. I don't think it feels like as much of a leap as 991 did from 997 in terms of in here. It sort of feels like half that maybe in terms of the interior, but the interior is just very nice. Let's down change a bit. I've got the 18-way seats and I'm endlessly playing with the different buttons and whatnot, but okay, the character of this car is obviously, I would say it's more similar to sort of turbos rather than your GT3, because hopefully no one's coming over here. You're just riding the wave of torque. You're not zinging it out. Let's try. I've got a restriction. Oh yeah. Oh, the way it goes down a road, it's very nice. It does feel a little bit heavy, and I guess the Targa side of this is not helping. It's another, what is it, 100 kilos or something, 150 kilos more. I think actually the Targa is probably 200 kilos more than the coupe. But the damping and everything is so nice, and you can kind of just sort of pick apart a road. Do I feel like I need more horsepower? Not really. This, you can't use all the horsepower. I am going to pull over, put the roof up, turn around and go back the other way because I don't actually have enough time to do the full route. Right, let me find the various sport. Ah, here we go. The drive modes are on here. So we were in normal, sport, sport plus. Oh, let's dodge that. I would play with the different modes. Oh yeah. It does make it very easy to go very fast. It's one of those cars, I think due to the engine and you're not really like zinging out, you're just riding the wave of torque, that it's sort of satisfying rather than extremely thrilling to drive very fast, which is interesting to me. I wonder if I can just turn around here. Let's put the roof up. Quick turn around. This little knob actually does make it very easy to go reverse from reverse to drive. Let's put it back in manual. I'm in Sport Plus again. Downshift a few gears. You can probably hear me better in here. Shut the sunglasses. With the roof up, it's instantly a lot more calming, and I can just sort of cruise along, which I think is probably what these cars, especially, I don't know why, especially the Targa, but I guess the Targa is probably more for the person that is not looking for loads of performance. Oh, we've got some little pheasants on the road. Come on, guys. There we go. I think this is a little bit of a dangerous car, not in the driving dynamically point of view. 4S is just going to monster down any bit of road, but I sort of mean from you're just going to go a bit faster than you necessarily need to, or you might want to, but it just makes that performance so accessible and easy. But it's a very nice place to be. I love this. I love the material on these seats. In this gearbox situation, it does actually encourage you to rev it. In this gearbox configuration, so not a manual, it's very much just, you're all about pushing a bit harder, a bit faster, and picking apart a bit of road. They've just released the GTS, another bump in horsepower. What is it, 30 horsepower or something? I could see you doing that. But I personally would go rear wheel drive. I think I would, just a bit lighter, probably not the Targa, make it feel a bit more like a sports car. I do like the idea of a convertible though. Convertible would be very nice in the summer. So overall, I love the new interior. I love the displays and the tech. I love a bit of that. I love having CarPlay and whatnot, adaptive cruise control. The integration of the digital and analog displays is really nice. Things I would spec differently in this car, I wouldn't have this black, not because I'm massively adverse to the plastic side of it, it's just, it's going to scratch, and that would do my head in. So any kind of brushed finish, I'm not sure what the other options you can have, just for longevity of the design. I was going to say there was a rattle. It's my GoPro rattling away in the background. Road noise, I think 911s have typically been not particularly good in that aspect, and I suspect this is a bit worse than a normal coupe. You used to be able to get an option for noise insulated glass in the front, and I thought a C2S, for example, with the noise insulated glass, just a little bit thicker glass, would just be a little bit nicer, a little bit more isolated from the environment, which I know you're in a sports car, you can always put the windows down, but when you do just want to cruise along a motorway, that would be a little bit of a plus. But overall, in this guise, in the 992 Targa 4S, it's great. And just driving it a little bit quicker, it's sort of it maneuvers exactly how I would expect a 911 to maneuver, which is incredibly well. It doesn't feel massive on the road. It's definitely bigger than the previous cars, but I don't feel like I'm driving a ginormous vehicle. I think you probably just get used to these things. And there we have it. Wrap up my little short drive with the Targa 4S Heritage Edition. 992 platform. Really like it. It's really nice. Lovely place to be. I like especially on the Heritage Edition, the changes on the interior. I would lose some of the stickers and stuff like that. Not really me. In terms of the handling and whatnot, Targa it's just a really good looking car. I like the ability to have the roof down. Personally, I think I would, if I was going for a car, I might go for a slightly lighter spec, but that's just me. It's really nice. It's really nice. The only thing with the turbocharged powertrain, which makes it similar to sort of turbos of old, is you can cover ground really fast, but it doesn't super excite like you would in a GT3 product, or even in the old naturally aspirated engines. So you get the more performance, the ability to just kind of smash some roads, but you don't quite get the same amount of zing. Maybe an exhaust will make that feel a bit more interesting. You do kind of want to rev it out to the end, so it's not one of those engines where you're changing up at 4,000 RPM. You do want to rev it all the way out, but maybe a little bit louder would probably make it a bit more engaging. But overall, a wicked thing. Thanks very much, Porsche, for letting me have a go, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.